Hi everyone, we're going to be going over a practice submission for the NGN STEM competition. So first, as you can see, go to ngn.org for the resources and how to compete. So what you do is you click here for the NGCC registration form. And if you're interested in any other competition, then you can look here for the Speak Up, the VP podcast, the policy, and many more. And if you're interested in other past events and looking at how teams have done, we have a lot of information right here. One of our past events, NGCC 2020, would be a great thing to look at for other prototype and examples to look at. So now let's go to the STEM competition guide. This is the NGCC official STEM event competition guide for 2021. If you have any questions, please email vpevents@ngn.org. So what is NGCC? NGCC is an annual conference held by us Next Generation Nations, which means to empower high school and college age students in the pursuit of their passion to contribute content that helps the world in some way. So what are we going to be focusing on today? We're going to be focusing on STEM. STEM is one of the two major NGCC events, with the other one being policy. Come to ngn.org and check out the policy competition if you're interested in that. This event has thousands of dollars worth of prize pools, and the calendar is listed right here. Registration is still open. Please register fast. The timeline might be delayed at the time of this video, so check back at ngn.org for the official registration end date. But as you all know, sign up right now. The deliverables you need to fill up is a filled out registration form. Again, ngn.org is where you find the registration form. You need to have some sort of results or trials to prove that your model works. You have to be wearing a business formal attire, and you have to have a presentation or slideshow. Well, this is just a basic rubric. This is not the official rubric that they could use, but it's a very, very good indication of what they will use, and a very high chance that the official rubric will model this exact rubric. So, introduction. To score 5, you need to have your first and last name, your school, your grade levels, your title, and all of the goals that you mean to accomplish. To find the goals, you go to resources at ngn.org or any of these topics, and you can see. So here you go. All of the goals are here. 21. The goals you mean to accomplish, you need to include in your introduction. Your requested judges. Your judge will need to play a role. You need to ask for money, support, promotion, maybe Facebook or Instagram ads. You need to tell the judge who you want them to play. Time. The time must be under 10 minutes, no matter what. Problem definition. You need to have a clear definition. The team needs to identify a problem in need of change. You need to offer a step-by-step analysis of the problem and use relevant information to indicate that the problem is legitimate. Now, a financial analysis and timeline is key. You need to be able to convince the judge that we are not just handing you out money. You have a clear timeline, you have a clear financial analysis, and you have a clear plan to why your business will work. Next, a proposed solution. Your solution shouldn't be something overused like solar based calculators. It needs to be something new, innovative. It needs to be something that the judges can get excited about. And lastly, your presentation skills. Your presentation skills and how well you teach and speak your judge on your topic is going to be a key indicator of how you perform. Remember, your team must be between 2 to 4 people. You have 10 minutes to present, and after the presenting time, there will be 5 minutes where you will be asked questions, and you must be ready with responses. You're expected to find an exact role that you want the judges to play for you. Pretend you're pitching your project to real people. These could be venture capitalists, tech experts. You never know. And the first 3 sections are worth 5 points, while the remaining 4 are worth 10 points each. Now, let's go on. This is just the remainder of the competition guide with the intro, requested judges, problem definition, financial analysis and timeline, and proposed solution. As you can see, a lot of time and effort was made to make this resource. So if you want to find out how to succeed at NGCC competition, you go to ngn.org, you look at this resource, and you basically just grind it out from here. So remember, look at the example submissions at the resources section. And if you want to see other NGN STEM standouts from 2020, look right here for shared change, fire risk probability detection, Argus, and GLO. These are all on our YouTube channel. Remember, if you have any questions, ask vpevents@ngn.org. We wish you the very best. Now let's look at a practice presentation that one might use. DH drones, future at its finest. So here the problem they targeted was that it's an unfixable hindrance to food delivery industries, but luckily the product will fly through the air, avoiding the major problem of traffic. The problem is efficiency. Companies like Grubhub, DoorDash, and Uber Eats are very slow and they do not ensure customer satisfaction. Many customers that we have interviewed have even said their food regularly arrives 30 minutes late. DH drones will ensure customer satisfaction with hyperspeed drones and shipping rates. Customer segments. Currently, drone delivery services are only utilized by individual companies. We want to be the number one companies who will sell drones to companies like DoorDash, Uber Eats, and make this streamline shipping way faster. Our customer segments include the Bay Area, a tech centered urban and suburban city. Our demographics include adults who do not have time to go pick up food and above average 100K income who are able to spend money on delivery, which is not a necessity, and average and above college educations because DH drones will charge a bit of a hyper price point as well with its hyper speeds. The psychographics include people who like to eat at restaurants, time saving products, tech savvy, and own a smartphone. Now, our secondary customer segments include people who live in suburban areas, teenagers, small party hosts, small jobs, earn allowance, and people who want to order food, kid safe products, and parents who could be out of town. Now, our unique value proposition DH drones will deliver anywhere in the Bay Area quicker than anyone, ensuring customers' satisfaction. The company will be much more efficient than any other food delivery companies because we are the future. As you can see, the Bay Area 9 county population growth is at a very high rate. We want to target all of the new people coming to Bay Area with their hyperspeed shipping. Now, the product description. The hyperspeed and heavy duty drones have Touch ID, barcodes, and a tracker chip embedded in itself. The drones also have an AI chip, which gives them the knowledge on what tasks to take on based on energy levels and which nearest charging location to fly on. You can see some of our very basic prototypes. Now, we have done all the mathematical calculations and how many charging stations will be needed in the Bay Area. All we need now is a basic streamlined funding from you investment bankers. So the two solutions we've come up with is with two lines of drones, the company fully satisfies customer needs while going above and beyond without hurting the environment or causing trouble to others. The bigger line, the hyperspeed drones, look to help regular customers throughout their everyday lives, with the smaller line being made for transferring large loading docks to schools, community centers, banquet halls, parties, and more. As you can see, the amount spent in millions on the food industry, especially DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, have jumped up from 46 to $600 million in just 2013 to 14. Moving on, channels. The channels of distribution will be on Apple and Google Play Store for our app. The app will be free on App and Play Store. The website will be brilliantly assigned drones to customers and show tracking on the website. Review pages will also be included. Our advertising includes Pinterest, Tumblr, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, and Twitter. We'll advertise for 4 months on these platforms before launch. We will also try for an interview with local radio stations like Radio Zindagi. Now, revenue streams. Well, we estimate about 23,000 in our first month, 26,000 in our second, 30K in our third, 34K in our fourth, 40K in our fifth, and 46K in our sixth. This is just based off the two streamlined hyperproduct drones shipping line. Now, our revenue streams. We aim to have a partnership with companies like Sizzro's Pizza, Savana Bhavan, and Subway. These companies are smaller markets, such as Sizzro Pizza. It's a very small one-shop family-owned restaurant. Many people from San Remo and Dublin want to buy from here, but they can't because of how far it is. And DoorDash does not deliver that far. But with our hyperspeed drones, traffic is not an issue. So we aim to bridge the gap between Cupertino and San Ramon. Our advertisements will cost about 20,000 in large markets, while our partnerships will be around 12,000 to acquire. Now, the cost structure. The distribution cost is the aggregate of the money for the drones. This includes charging costs, which can be very high. Human resources costs will be about $7.25 and $15 per location. Our method is here. As you can see, our customer acquisition cost is listed per units, number of units, and our total expenses is written as well. You can see our CAC, our average distribution costs, and our totally weekly costs and monthly costs as well. Now, our key metrics: 20,000 will be the income from advertising, and 19,500 will be the cost of advertising. So, as you can see, we're still going to gain income from advertising, but we'll be pretty much breaking even. As you can see, $20,000 will be gone to customers retained, and $10,000 will be gone to customers lost. This is a pretty high margin for us as a new company. This is our financial plan and our balance sheet for the first 6 months. We aim to be in profit, but our total expenses do total up to 166,000. Our competitive advantage. Basically, our competitive advantage is the hyperspeed drones top at about 60 miles per hour. The heavy duty drones will top out about 50 miles per hour. As you can see, the battery life is pretty good as well. So you can aim to target about 5 shipments per each battery life for each drone. That's about 10 shipments total for 2 lines. That's a very good number per every time they have to go back to their charging station. This is better than any current company right now. Moving on. Our competitive advantage. Are we too early or are we too late? DoorDash is early on or on time for 92% of their predicted time. However, Uber Eats is 29% of time late. While they're early, this is not always a good thing. Sometimes customers can miss out on their food because they're not home at time. We are going to offer a consistent time that our drones can meet every single time. This is going to make us the #1 food delivering business. Conclusion: this is a very good path we have taken to a futuristic haven for many adults and teenagers. We have a fantastic Touch ID sensor, a geographic tracker, and we will be available in 5 locations very soon. We're looking at an investment for 600,000 for our investors. We are prepared to offer a 25% ownership in our company. Now, with your help, DH Drones can burst into the market as a top-tier competitor. Thank you for your time. We hope you invest. As you can see, that was a very good presentation. You need to aim to capitalize on the time you have and the 10-minute budget with your judges. Be sure to be careful about how much time you use, but also be prepared to answer the questions at the end. This group did a very good job. I kind of reiterated their presentation to how I saw it. And while they did not hit on everything in the NGN rubric, they did hit on a lot of key step-by-step analysis, relevant information, and a really good problem definition. Thank you guys for listening. This has been great. NGN out.